host and someone that y'all been waiting for a long minute to do this, S.S.O.M, and this is my Serious State of Mind podcast. It's been long awaited. I'm sure everybody been waiting for it. I did say I was going to drop it in August, and we are dropping in August. So I'm going to keep my word on that. Just a little background for the new folks that don't know about me. My name is Shallow, not giving my last name because no. I am 22. I am a leader at a community ministry called I Can Fly Ministries. I'm also a, I guess you could call sound tech person at Triumph Church. And as you can tell, I'm a person that loves ministry. I love doing ministry. Been doing it ever since I was 6. Got baptized at the age of 6, so it has been my calling ever since. Just a insight or a little background on this podcast. I always wanted to do a podcast. I just never pushed for it. I had a big fear of it, but over time, just getting older and wiser, I think it just helped me out more to just push for it. And this year, after conferences and stuff, it just gave me confirmation that I should go for it and should do it. But to keep the dice rolling, because we gotta keep the dice rolling. Today is my pilot episode, which the title of it is Looking Through the Mirror. Now, that can mean a lot of things to a lot of different people, but the main focus that I want to point is when you look in the mirror, who do you see? And that's the bigger question that a lot of people should ask about to themselves, is who do you see when you look in the mirror? So just, I can give like a small background to myself, then I'm gonna continue on, is I'm the type of person to where I'm a loving, family, and caring person. I say anybody that I'm in close contact with and that I have a friendship with or a relationship with, they are completely my family right then and there. You can't get rid of me too soon. But also with that, there are flaws. I think when it comes to friendships or just relationships in general, or even the idea of, okay, I'm putting myself out there to be exposed to this area, people sometimes think that the good is always gonna come first. But sometimes flaws, which is to be expected, and I hope everybody expect that, will also come as well, because everything is not good, everything is not bad, everything is in between, so everything share the same amount of good and bad. I wouldn't just call it bad or good. It's however you perceive or see it for yourself. But the mission for this whole podcast, let me do that, then we're gonna continue on. The mission for this podcast is to inform the mind with knowledge, wisdom, understanding of God, of who God is, and is, to give extraordinary life advice. I think this will be a great start to a great journey and the beginning of a great journey. And I think it's gonna be a nice one indeed. But to continue on, so I'm just gonna hit the nail in the coffin. We don't decide who we are. We don't decide who we are at all. God is and was the one who thought of us, put us in our mother womb, and will see us who we're going, not even will, but already seen who we're going to be before we leave Earth. So as soon as you was thought of, you already had a destiny for yourself that God put upon you. And when you live in the life of, you know, of this Christian walk, I wouldn't just, you know, people expect the walk with God to where you have to be perfect. You're not perfect. We literally was born in a world of sin, and we was born into sin, and we're gonna dive deep into that as well in this as well. So yeah, we don't dictate who we are. God already know who we are. It's us that have to find ourselves through our journey, which will take time in our passage. So yeah, and are we perfect? No, we're not perfect at all. But I think that's the beauty of us as people, is that we have flaws, we have things that ick us, we have things that we don't like, we have things that we like a lot, we have things that we just like in between of. It is how we are unique, and it's different to each and every person. That's how you can depict, like, okay, this person is this and this person is that. And that's the beauty of being an individual person in life. So all in all, we thought to be like Jesus. If you don't know the whole story about Jesus Christ, I really recommend look it up, find it. But Jesus Christ came down, God sent Jesus down and to save us from sin. And the question is, like I said before, is who do you really see in the mirror? Because who we see when we look in the mirror every morning, or like every night, or even before we go out to do something, is who we see is how we project outwardly in the world. So I can look in the mirror one morning and be like, today ain't gonna be a good day. You ain't good for nothing. You're not good at this. You're not good at that. Just talk down on myself, and guess what? The same thing that I was talking to myself about in the mirror is the same thing I'm gonna project towards people, friends, family, or even strangers that come in close contact with me. And I would give off the energy that will probably set their mood, you know, of day as well. And just as a Christian, I believe asking that question of who do we really see in the mirror will help us understand that, okay, there may be some things that I need to work on for myself, so I won't affect the people around me in a capacity that can be catastrophic. So as we move on, just got some points right here. When I see of how we should believe, I believe that how we should see ourselves as individuals is of what we reflect in public, just like I said. But here's the crazy part, is that the reflection that we present isn't us. We only know like a bit of who we are, like a small little bit of who we are. But that's why it's so important to know who you are, because then God will reveal more and more and more in your life. And plus, God is also molding us into the person that He wants us to be in our end goal. Just to give a couple Bible verses on it, Genesis 1:27 says, "So God created mankind in His own image. In the image of God, He created them, male and female. He created." And I read it from the NIV version. And basically, they literally said what I said in the point is, we were created in God's image. And that right there should be like a showstopper, like, oh my God, wow. We were literally created in God's image. Then in Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 5, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to nations. And God knew us before we even knew ourselves. And it just shows a lot of how God has so much faith in us and how God dwells within us to do the things that we need to do to push forth the kingdom of heaven. And in this verse of how God created us through his image, there's another focus I want to focus on as well. Is Ephesians chapter 2, verse 10. For we are God's handiwork, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance for us to do. We were set here on earth for a purpose. Everyone has a purpose, even if you don't know God at all. You have a purpose. Yeah, will it take longer or more time? Yeah, it may take longer or more time to figure out what their purpose is. But everybody has a purpose, and that I truly believe. So, what do you see in the mirror? My folks back there in the back. Yeah, I'm putting y'all on blast. But what do y'all see in the mirror?
Am I supposed to go in depth with that?
You don't have to go in depth.
Well, Jim, what do you see?
I wasn't prepared for this.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I'm putting y'all on the spot.
I don't need to think for a minute.
We come back to y'all. How about that? Yeah. But yeah, I got an audience back there. It's my best friends and my girlfriend. But let's talk about it. Let's really dive deep into what do you see in the mirror. Number one, and I got just numbers jotted down just to go through it, and this is just a discussion. This is when we get into our discussion phase. Who do you see in the mirror? I'll say, as of right now, and I might do like 3 standpoints just to give a different view. As of right now, I see, in the mirror I see, when I look at myself in the mirror, I see a growing man that is trying, and not even trying, that is pushing himself into an area to where God not only appointed him to be, but also to challenge himself to more say, to get out the mindset of not failing. Because back then, when I looked in the mirror, I can say probably around my age, 13, 15, 16, 18.
All your teenage years.
All my teenage years, literally. That was always on my mind, failing. And when I did fail, it didn't feel nice. I took it hard to the gut. Because I feel like I let everybody down. I'm still the type of person, but I know how to work around it now. I'm the type of person of, if I don't do it, and if I don't put 100% behind it, and I know I failed, and I know I could have done more, it will completely wreck me for a while. But I got better to where I understand that failures are only a lesson. Losing is only a lesson. So we take the L, we take the L, hold it close to our heart, we learn from it, and we move on to conquer the next challenge.
Is it really an L? If you got a lesson from it, wouldn't that be a win?
Bars, it is a win. Hey, it is a win. I'll take that. It is a win. So it's technically not an L. It's technically not an L. Because we learned it from it.
That's a win.
Then it's a win. Hey, so in all, we winning constantly. I like that. I like that a lot. I need to write that down. Y'all got anything? Do you conjure up
You
something?
ask me deep questions right now. Jim.
Let's see.
You go first.
No, this is your man. Your man.
I thought we shared.
No.
Oh Lord.
You said no. You
Oh,
say
Lord.
no, then take it back.
No. Wait, what? This is what I gotta deal with.
Yeah, you repeat the question.
Who do you see when you look in the mirror?
That's a loaded question.
It is a loaded question.
I would say back then,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see the person that I know I can be.
Mm.
I was always trying to be somebody I wasn't, and I saw that person. But now,
Mm.
as of now, I would say I see a God-fearing man
Mm.
who knows what he wants
Mm.
and willing to work towards that.
Mm. Brother, wait. Hold on, but I do want to pick it back off of what you said. Back then when you looked in the mirror, you try to be another person that you were, and I think a lot of that plays on the fact that, especially now, social media.
Yeah.
Social media now, and I really don't like being on social media. The only thing I go on is really YouTube to watch stuff. Like I barely be on TikTok now, but the world is so focused on
The outside.
the outside and the idea of, okay, this person in this point in his life, okay, I want to be just like this person, like identical all the way,
Without knowing how they got there.
without knowing how they got there and without having individuality in themselves. Because now you're just still in the flow of somebody else, but as soon as you try to get to the spot is hard to fit in. So now you look like, now you in a spot to where you are in the open, don't know where to go, and you are stuck in a place to where I feel like I can't go nowhere. And I think that's how a lot of us get stuck in the mindset of I'm stuck in this lifestyle, because we are so focused on somebody else's life to where we don't have time for ours. So
Agreed.
you know what I'm saying?
I mean, I can agree with that too. I mean, I think
What
at
you
one
think?
point, I always try to shape myself to everybody's expectations, especially like my peers and my parents.
Yeah.
But I never really sat down and cultivated my own opinion.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I
Yep.
don't even know what that looks like.
You said, how do we know what they look like?
I said, I don't even know what that looks like. So I'm still trying to figure that out now.
Yeah. Hey, and even then, 'cause, you know, we all know about peer pressure and all that stuff, but even then, shaping our lives to someone's expectation is more like we being slaves towards ourselves.
Well, you mean like we enslave ourselves to the other person without
I wouldn't.
to their lifestyle, not necessarily that person, but trying to fit to their standards.
Yeah, try to fit to their standards. It's more like being. I don't like using that word slave. It's more like being chained by.
Or addicted to trying to be something that you know.
Addicted to trying to be something that you're not. Yeah, I like that word. I don't like you. Yeah, I don't like the word slaves. Yeah, I don't like that word. I don't know why I used it. But we're gonna move on. Number 2. How can we change our perspective? Affirmations. I feel like affirmations
Does
is
that
one.
work for you?
Yeah, I actually say it does.
When do you do it?
I'm talking to myself right now. I need to do it more. But I will say affirmations are a great thing, because I remember I was at a point in my life to where depression was hard, and I wanted to give up. So, most people already know this. People I Can Fly, y'all know this too. But I put, oh Lord, I remember this. I put sticky notes on top of my ceiling with affirmations. So every time I wake up in the morning, I look up in the ceiling to read my affirmations, and I get going. Yeah, I need to do that again, actually. Yes. That would be nice, very nice. Another thing of how we can change our perspective is the music you intake. I believe
beg to differ on that, but I agree at the same time.
it's so the reason I say that is because, let's just say you at a point to where you're like depressed or something, or even happy, and you play music
That matches that mood.
that matches that mood. it can either make it worse or you can make it better.
Well, that strictly depends on the individual.
On the individual,
Not
exactly.
necessarily the music itself. How they take it, how they perceive it, or how they intake that is solely based on that
Individual person.
I won't necessarily say the music itself plays a role. It's more so the person how they.
That I can agree on. Yeah, I can agree on that. Yeah, I can agree. I can see that. Yeah.
Because you can have a song tell you go do something. Right? It's up to you whether or not
You actually gonna do it? Yeah, you right.
Not the artist or the, but it's
Yeah.
what you think with
Yeah. So pretty much what she said was, if you didn't hear it, she pretty much said she wouldn't foresay that it's the music, it's the person that it's how a person intake the music pretty much, and what they do
And
in
what
it.
they do after.
Yeah, and what they do afterwards. That I agree with. Do y'all got anything else as far as like how can we change our perspective?
Your environment matters.
Environment,
People
yeah.
you surround yourself with, that definitely.
That definitely matters. Like the crowd you're around and stuff, that definitely matters. And make
I feel like that's number one.
that really is number one. Nah, it's definitely number
Because
one.
I've been around people who've been around people who wasn't the best influence, and they're not
Yeah.
where they supposed to be.
Yep.
Where they could have been,
What it could have been.
had they taken a different route.
Yeah. Well, nah, that was good. That's really good. Number 3, how to keep our head level when things or the enemy try to make us forget who we are.
Oh, that's a struggle.
That is a struggle. That is a struggle.
Jen,
What was the question? I'm sorry.
It said, I said, how do we keep our head level when things or the enemy try to make us forget who we are?
you look like a hot man.
That's not.
Like you a crash out.
That's not.
Aight.
I mean, you just gotta know your limit. It takes time.
Yeah.
Like me, okay. When I get mad,
Mm-hmm.
I put on my gospel music,
Yeah.
or I go in my closet and read my Bible. Does it work? Not all the time. Not all the time. I have my moments where I say things I shouldn't say, but I can look back at those moments and learn
Yeah.
and realize what I need to do to keep myself from saying them things. Doing this. I almost feel. See? See?
It's okay,
And
man.
from doing those things.
Doing those things, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll say that as far as like, so I'm gonna do like just an hourly standpoint, then like a Christian standpoint, just for me. One of the ways I try to keep my head, myself level, cause a lot of people don't know me from when I'm at home. I do have,
A temper.
I got a bad temper, but I'm in that stage now of I'm trying. One of the ways I can keep my head level is sitting outside. I don't know. I feel like when I'm outside and just looking at nature and taking in just the sounds, it brings a sense of calmness. Do I do it every time? No, I don't. But when I do, it do bring a sense of calmness to where I can think and breathe for just a second and be like, okay, you was in the wrong, dude. And I do turn on gospel music sometimes as well. Tell you, man, but more than able, so all right now. But as far as the enemy trying to make me forget who I am, one of the things that can help out with that is
When you say that, you mean like get you out of your character.
I'll
You said forget who you are.
yeah, like
Isn't that technically you out of your character?
yeah, you're out of your character, but almost like something's missing.
Elaborate.
So, excuse me, y'all. So, yeah, the out of character situation. So the out of character situation is pretty much you know you're doing something, and you know it's that type of moment to where it's like, okay, this serious, and you do something that you know that you haven't done before, and you take a step back and like, that's not me. That ain't right. But then the other one I'm talking about is when don't y'all just have a moment to where y'all, you know, you could be doing something and it's like you got a routine, but out of nowhere that routine, like one day that routine gone, and you like something's missing, but I don't know what's missing. Or you can be you could be driving around and forget where you're going. It's something like that. It's not, I wouldn't say, you know, the driving around part is major, but when you have a certain persona about you, but a part of your persona is like come up missing out of nowhere, and now you forget things that is like a major bulletin point that is about you. That's what I'm talking about as far as
Like a part of you missing.
yeah, a part of you missing. And really, like I said in this question, the enemy can try to make you forget. I don't think, really, he has no power over us. The only reason why that happened is because he know he's lying. He only here to kill, steal, and destroy. He can't steal something when something is already protected by God. So I believe what we have to do is literally just sit down and recollect on everything about us, or even write it down. Like write down pros and cons and stuff about yourself, and see like, okay, this and that, and what's this and what that. But I'm gonna keep pushing on. Never turning your back on yourself. I think that's another major thing is we quick to give up. Giving up on yourself is like pretty much throwing in the white towel and saying, nah, I'm done. I'm done with this now. But that's really self-explanatory is don't give up. Despite how hard it may seem, don't give up, keep pushing, trust me. That's like at the end of the tunnel. 5, trusting in the right people for encouragement, guidance. Please get in the right crowd. and the thing I'm gonna say about that is the people you hang around is the people is who is going to influence you or how you present yourself. Cause you could be around people. Just for example, you could be around people that go to parties every day or drink every day. And you could be that type of person to where you didn't do that. But the more you hang out with them, the more the pressure was built, the more you fall into it, and the more it will become a habit. So position yourself in a crowd to where you know they're there to build you, they're there to keep you in check, but they're also there to give you encouragement when you are down and to pick you up. Because sometimes we always need a person to pick us up, to remind us that, hey, you still in the fight, you can't give up yet. So always.
It don't always depend on an individual to pick you up. Sometimes you have to do it yourself.
True. Sometimes you do have to do it yourself. Indeed. Sometimes you do have to pick up yourself, but that's when I like to draw from that. When remind yourself like, hey, I got here. I'm here now. Let's keep pushing. I like that. Number 6, and we got 2 more points actually. Number 6, getting into a position for a breakthrough. When everything is lined up, when everything is aligned in life, when God got you in the right spot to where he like, man, I put everything in your hand. I got everything lined up for that first breakthrough. Go for it. Always go for it. When you know an opportunity is coming, when you know a chance is knocking at the door, break down that door and take that opportunity. Will it always be sunshine and rainbows? No. It wouldn't. It never will always be sunshine and rainbows. But best believe me, at the end of that mission, that purpose, or whatever God has for you, it is for you. Not mama, not cousin, not sister, not brother, it is for you. Because God has appointed it for you. Number 7, accepting who you are. When you look in the mirror, and please don't forget this, everybody has flaws. You are not perfect. You wasn't born perfect. And best believe me, you're not going to live perfect. But that's the beauty of it. If you can accept the flaws that is in your life, I best believe you, each and every day you wake up, you can dust off your shoulders and be like, okay, I'm not perfect, but best believe me, I'm going to do everything I can to not only be like God, be myself, but also be the person that God wanted me to be in my life. Then 8 is the one thing that should be just bold.
Like
Is
the highlight of your life.
pretty much is stepping into the light. Don't be scared to step out and show out. Not show out in the way that y'all be thinking. No. I'm talking about show out with the gifts and talents that God has given you to use at your disposal. I'm not saying exploit, because we're not exporting gifts. We are using gifts that have been gifted to us to go out and do the things that God wants us to do. So every time, I say this, every time you wake up in the morning, remind yourself who you are, accept who you are, and go step out and be the person that God always wanted you to be. And we at the end of it. So the conclusion, despite all other things the enemy throw at us, and despite all the sin we may commit and will commit, we have a Father that is all powerful, caring, and loving. That no matter how we look in the mirror at ourselves, God sees who we truly are. So I'm closing out with, even though there be days to where you are down, even though there be days to where you feel like you lost the fight, even though there may be days to where you even feel like you got nowhere else to go, turn to God, and best believe you, God is going to remind you each and every time how powerful He is and how powerful you are. I'm S.S.O.M. This is Serious State of Mind Podcast. And best believe me, a lot more to come. Love y'all.